If you're a fan of classic TV, chances are you've watched The Munsters at least once. This beloved sitcom aired in 1964 and offered a delightful twist on the typical American family by presenting a clan of friendly monsters living in a spooky mansion on Mockingbird Lane. But while the show remains a nostalgic favorite, you may wonder whatever happened to the cast that brought this quirky family to life. So let's stroll down memory lane and learn about the actors who made the Munsters an unforgettable part of television history. Fred Gwynne's portrayal of the lovable and bumbling Herman Munster is perhaps the series' most memorable character. With his towering height, flat top head, and signature laugh, Herman Munster became and still is a household name. Fred enlisted in the Navy during World War II, and after his service ended, he attended Harvard University, where he served as a cartoonist and president of the Harvard Lampoon and participated in the Hasty Pudding theatricals. In 1961, Fred was cast as Officer Francis Muldoon in the NBC sitcom Car 54 Where Are You?, which ran for 2 seasons.
Car 54, where are you?
Fred was 6'5", which undoubtedly contributed to his being cast as Herman Munster. But for that role, he had to wear over 40 pounds of padding, thick makeup, and 5-inch tall boots, none of which sounds comfortable. And after the Munsters ended in 1966, Fred struggled to escape typecasting. But even despite this, he reprised his role along with Yvonne DiCarlo and Al Lewis for the 1981 made-for-TV movie Munster's Revenge. He also notably appeared in the 1989 film Pet Sematary and the 1992 hit comedy My Cousin Vinny. He was also an accomplished author and illustrator of children's books. Later in his career, when asked about his favorite role, he mentioned Herman Munster, saying, quote, "I might as well tell you the truth. I love old Herman Munster. Much as I try not to, I can't stop liking that fellow." Sadly, in 1993, Fred passed away from pancreatic cancer. He was 66 years old. Before the Munsters, Yvonne DiCarlo was already a well-known actress and dancer, having starred in such films as the 1945 Western Salome Where She Danced and 1956 The Ten Commandments.
Zafra is the eldest. You can learn best from her.
On the Munsters, she played Lily Munster, a lovely, charming vampire who I'm assuming never bit anyone. She is kind-hearted and embodies the perfect blend of spooky and sweet. She is a loving wife to Herman and a doting mother to Eddie. Yvonne's performance brought a unique grace to the character, balancing the show's humor with a touch of old Hollywood glamour. After the Munsters ended, Yvonne continued acting in film and television. However, she never quite recaptured the level of fame she enjoyed during her earlier years. In addition to acting and dancing, she was also a great singer. She enjoyed performing on the stage, taking on many different roles, including playing Carlotta Campion in the original Broadway production of Follies in 1971. Yvonne also faced personal challenges, including the severe injury her stuntman husband Bob Morgan sustained on the set of the Western How the West Was Won, and this injury left him unable to work and put them into a financial struggle. In 1987, she added author to her list of achievements, releasing her book Yvonne, an Autobiography. She passed away on January 8, 2007, of heart failure. She was 84 years old. Grandpa Munster, the eccentric, wild haired, nearly 400-year-old vampire with a knack for inventing strange gadgets and concocting potions in his basement laboratory, was more humorous than horrifying. With his vibrant personality and distinctive looks, Al Lewis was a natural fit for this quirky and lovable vampire grandpa. Al was born in New York City in 1923 and didn't get into acting until a friend persuaded him to try it in 1949. He worked in burlesque and vaudeville, then appeared on Broadway in the drama One More River and with Phil Silvers and Nancy Walker in the musical comedy Do Re Mi. He was also Fred Gwynn's co-star in Car 54 Where Are You?, playing Officer Leo Schnauzer. After the Munsters, Al continued to work in television and film, but he also pursued a different career path altogether. In 1998, he ran for governor of New York on the Green Party ticket, and in 2000, he sought the Green Party nomination for the U.S. Senate, but neither of those worked out. Al Lewis passed away in 2006 at the age of 82 from natural causes. Butch Patrick was just a child when he played Eddie Munster, the adorable young werewolf with a distinctive widow's peak and pointed ears, who, despite his monster-like appearance, is just a typical all-American boy. Butch was born in Inglewood, California, and began acting when he was just 7 years old, starring in television commercials and making guest appearances on popular TV shows of the day. Unlike some child stars, Butch Patrick continued to work in the entertainment industry after the Munsters ended. And he has remained active in the world of the Munsters, often attending fan conventions, giving interviews, and participating in documentaries about the show. Today, Butch Patrick is a proud ambassador of the series, keeping the spirit of the Munsters alive for a new generation of fans.
This is my father. He hangs pictures, helps Grandpa experiment, helps Mommy with the cleaning. Where does he get his go? From me. I lend him my Cheerios. Daddy says they're the greatest thing since bat wings. Mommy says they give him protein and stuff. Give your father some go. And he might play catch with you.
Big G, little O. Go with Cheerios.
The role of Marilyn Munster, the quote, normal niece, was initially played by Beverly Owen. However, she left the show after the first 13 episodes to marry her fiancé, John Stone, who would later become one of Sesame Street's original producers. Together, they had 2 daughters and eventually divorced in 1974. Beverly passed away in 2019 at the age of 81 after a 2-year battle with ovarian cancer. When Beverly left, Pat Priest stepped in to play Marilyn for the remainder of the series. Pat was born and raised in Bountiful, Utah. Her mother, Ivy Baker Priest, served as the United States Treasurer from January of 1953 to January 1961, having been appointed by President Dwight Eisenhower. Early in her career, Pat worked as a singer for local television stations and acted in stage productions. She was cast mid-season to play Lily's gorgeous niece Marilyn, who is often confused by why others find her family scary and strange. And there was always this running gag that the beautiful blonde Marilyn was actually the ugly duckling of the family. Pat played Marilyn for 57 episodes, staying with the series until its cancellation. After the Munsters, Pat continued to act on television and in film, including starring with Elvis Presley in the 1967 comedy Easy Come, Easy Go. She has since retired from acting and lives a quiet life, occasionally giving interviews and appearing at fan events. While the Munsters only ran for 2 seasons, its impact on popular culture is undeniable. The show's cast created funny and endearing characters, turning what could have been a mere gimmick into a television classic. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks so much for watching.
You've got to see the Munsters at Marineland. Yes, that riotous family of goofy ghouls invites you to join them on an unforgettable visit to the famous Marineland of the Pacific. You can help the Munsters pick out a pet for Eddie. Of course, Herman, Grandpa, and Lily insist on something lovable, like a shark, a barracuda, or an octopus. See all the wonders of this fabulous oceanarium and watch the Munsters have a whale of a good time at Marineland Carnival. The new Christy Minstrels will be there, too, Easter Sunday, April 18th, on most of these CBS television network stations.